Hi friends, welcome back to Live at the Roxy from the East Coast. So much stuff to talk about today. So many different things in the entertainment world that have nothing to do with movies, so I can actually talk about it. But yesterday I was, before we get into the show today, I'm back in Boston, flew back for the Bruce Springsteen concert with my siblings, and we have been so excited about it. I'm going to tell you guys all about the show in a little bit. But when I was there, I was down on my phone, and because I was on it recording some stuff for the concert or whatever, and I just started getting hit with a ton of messages. And I was like, what's going on? And then I looked after the show, and I saw that Garth McMurray had died. And I know he's been in and out of the hospital for a really long time, but he is such a diehard rock star, and I was just fucking gutted. I was pretty silent on the ride back home because I was just gutted about it. It feels also weird that I'm in Boston right now finding out about it. For those of you guys who have ever been here before, you know who Garth is. For those of you guys who haven't been, he's been with me since Screen Junkies. He found me over on Screen Junkies, and then he came with me to DC Movie News, and he heard me and Dan on Screen Junkies talk about the Schmodown. So he came over to the Schmodown with me and Dan, and then he fell in love with the whole community over there. And then he came with me over to Collider, and he came with me to the Whirl Girls and here Live at the Roxy and Real Rejects. And he has literally been everywhere, anywhere I have been. Garth has been there to support me at every platform, at every step, at every Patreon iteration, every Streamlabs and Super Chat, every drawing that he made of us, rooted for the rock stars, for the Schmodown, rooted for me in everything. We had that Boston connection, that comic book connection, and he just could not have been more fucking supportive. And I'm just so fucking grateful to have had him as part of the community. And the only solace that I take is knowing that hopefully he's just not in so much pain anymore. You guys know he used to tune into the show from the hospital all the time, and he was in fucking agony for a really long time. And we're not supposed to be in pain for that long. Anyway, I'm just thinking about him. I'm thinking about his family and his loved ones, which is all of us too. Because I went through every message that he'd ever sent me last night until like 5 a.m. And I mean, the way that he tweeted out the first Whirl Girl episode we did, he tweeted out when Dee and I took over Collider, he tweeted out everything about any movie that I've ever been in. He tweeted out about when my grandfather was in the hospital, saying that he was thinking about him and wishing him well. He could not have been more supportive. Truly one of the staples of the rock stars. And I hope he felt all that love back from us, because I just think he's fucking amazing. I found this clip of when he called into Collider Live talking about Rey from Star Wars' as Diva Cup, because we were having a conversation on the show, whatever. It was a funny fucking call-in. I was just completely shocked. And anyway, thinking about Garth and just sending love out. Weird tone to set the show with, but I can't not address it at the top, because he was just, I mean, you guys are all rock stars, but this was, what do the gamers say? This was S tier. He was an S tier rock star. I mean, he was the rock star of all rock stars, truly. And as my brother wrote too, he was supportive of my brother. He was supportive of my whole family. Like, he just, He gave to me when he barely had for himself, knowing that I needed the help. And yeah, I'm just really, really grateful for him. So this one and all of them are for you, Garth, and we're thinking about you. Yeah. Yeah. Still thinking about Glenn as well. Hoping that we get any kind of update about Glenn, another S tier. Oh God, it's so hard. I grow this like real attachment to you guys, which I know you know. Okay, so there's a lot going on in the world. I went to this Bruce Springsteen concert yesterday, which was absolutely amazing. And if you have things you want to talk about, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, super chat in. So the Bruce Springsteen show, I flew back. I have a wedding that I'm going to next weekend here, so I came early to go with my siblings and my brother's wife to the Bruce Springsteen concert. As a quick recap, my mom took me to my first and only Bruce show. It's one of my last memories with her. I remember she was on chemo and super sick, but she went anyway at the Garden. And it was fucking amazing. And my siblings never got to go see him. So we went. And I don't know if you guys saw the social media post I put out, but the absolute weirdest thing that's ever happened. It was like, and I said this in the TikTok, but you only have 60 seconds for. So, but I truly mean it. It's like the closest I've ever been to believing in God or something out there because it was just so fucking crazy. So we're at the show, and Bruce was my mom's favorite. She went to dozens of his shows, and she was a diehard Bruce Springsteen fan. And we're at the show, and my sister takes out her phone to record something, and it just says, "Mom, call failed." We both, our faces were like, "What?" We don't even know if anybody has my mom's cell phone number at this point. You know, she's been dead for 12 years. It's never happened before. She's never called her on accident, never butt dialed, nothing. She's not in, my sister was a kid when, like, she didn't even know she had her, anything saved in her phone. Like, it was just so, so fucking truly bizarre. Yeah, it was fucking bizarre. And I felt like she was with us for a second. It was so strange. And then my mom's two favorite Bruce songs are She's the One in Candy's Room. And he didn't do Candy's Room. He's been doing it on the tour. I wish he had done it, but he did do She's the One. And it just was such a banger. We had such a great night there, and it was amazing. So everything that I hoped it would be. Bruce is the best live performer ever. I will say check his concert tickets because he does have a lot of cheaper tickets going out, like closer to each show, which is wild because I thought they were all going to be so, so extremely outrageous. We were in the nosebleed, but there were tickets for like $50 going yesterday. So crazy, crazy. Yeah. Anyway, the Bruce show is awesome. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Send in your bits, bots, thoughts, and twats. Appreciate you guys being here. This is a fan-funded show, which means that I'm here as long as you guys allow me to be, as long as you guys continue to support the show. We keep the show going on this Friday, August 25th. Thank you to everybody who supported this week as we've been going live, this month, this year, these years. They have been a challenging time, especially during the strike. Your support means the absolute world to me. Let's talk about some things going on in entertainment news. I want to hear from you guys on this stuff. Firefest 2 is announced. What the flying fuck? Like, tickets went on presale, and they went on presale for 100 people. And I believe those 100 tickets already sold out. This is run by the same guy who ran Firefest, Billy, who went to jail for the last 4 years. What the fuck are you guys saying? Like, what? It says that the festival is being held in the Caribbean. I was watching my friend Jess Lucera's story on this because she does all of this amazing news. She finds the greatest stories and she has really great takes on it. But as she said, where? What the fuck is in the Caribbean? Why would, like, are you kidding? Couple spent nearly $550 each for Fyre Festival 2 tickets. If anything, it'll just be a really cool vacation, was their quote. What leads you to believe that? They don't have a date for it yet. They have no date for it yet. They clearly don't have a location. Like, are you guys, is everybody so dumb? What would it take for you guys to buy tickets to Firefest? Like, for me, it would have to have a different person running it. It would have to have an announcement of a lineup. It would have to have a date. It would have to be under $200, and it would have to be guaranteed. Like, why? $550 each to go to this for tickets to a different, unknown time, unknown place, unknown people, and we know what happened the last time. There are docs about this. You just want to be part of the moment. I don't understand. I'll never understand. This just seems absolutely asinine to me. Let me know your thoughts. Is there anything that could get you to go to Firefest too? Let me know. Let's talk about Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore, I don't know if you guys saw that video of her and Renee Rapp on stage talking, and a person from the audience shouts, Drew, and then tried to rush the stage. They got escorted out. Renee put her arm around Drew Barrymore, took her out. You guys know Drew Barrymore is my favorite person on the planet. It was really, really wild to watch. And then later on, this person was caught for being a stalker. It seems like they've been arrested in multiple states. They've exposed themselves to people at bus stops and pools, and there was like a long rap sheet for this person. And apparently they've been going around Drew Barrymore's neighborhood asking for directions to Drew Barrymore's place, and they had reason to believe that this is a very dangerous stalker based on all of those other things. Like, I know we believe in second chances, but at what point is a creep and we just like need to have them not be a menace to society and put them somewhere? Number one. Number two, I don't care who the celebrity is. I don't care if it's my least favorite person. I don't care if that celebrity is Kanye West or Donald Trump. You never have the right to stalk somebody. You don't have the right to make somebody physically unsafe. It is so wrong. And as Viktor Frankl said in his book, and I took pictures of this. Let me see if I can find the exact quote, because it was so succinctly put, and it's so beautiful, and it's so right. Something along the lines of, just because wrong has been done to you doesn't give you the right to do wrong to others, which is just unbelievably true. And it bothers me that people think that they are entitled to stalking somebody. Okay, the quote is, no one has the right to do wrong, not even if wrong has been done to them. It's like, and not even if that wrong has been done to them by that person. I just don't think you have the right to do wrong to others, and stalking somebody is wrong. They're wrong. Yeah, it's so wrong. And poor Drew, who's so friendly and nice, and like somebody calls out on stage and she's like, yeah, it's like, oh my God, protect this woman at all costs. Sam says, I missed it. Did Roxy get to see Bruce? And Jake said, not yet, Sam. And Jake, that's wrong. And I just opened the whole show talking about seeing Bruce, how amazing it was. What did you miss, my dude? What did you miss? Yeah, we're talking about the Drew Barrymore situation, Sam, because it's just so fucked up. Ugh, really, really bothers me. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Do you agree, disagree, have your own thoughts on this? Shout out to Renee Rapp for being a legend and taking her arm around Drew and being super protective. Like Drew said, that was sexy. I mean, that's hot, straight up. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Jake got ready with that massive support. Jake, that means work started back up for you, my dude. He said Firefest 2 is gonna pop off because Andy King is involved again. Sucking dick for water, y'all. Gotta do what you gotta do. I forgot about that until you just wrote that. God, why would somebody do that? The whole thing. Jake says, "Oh, I was in a meeting, LOL." I like how confident Jake was. Like, nah, she hasn't gone yet. Jake, you knew that I was going. You knew I was going last night. Okay, pasta. But thank you for the support. You're this shit. Yeah, Sam, I was worried that he was going to cancel Boston. He was sick for his 2 Philly shows. But no, they announced the morning of or day before that he was going to be fine again. I don't know whether he had COVID or what, but of course he's going to get sick. He's 73. He puts on a fucking 3.5 hour show. Something about Bruce that I didn't mention is that Bruce plays from start to finish with no breaks. Even when I saw like Dead and Co. or any of the bands that I see that play for more than 3 hours, they take an intermission and on the encore, they take their time. Bruce played 25 songs, no intermission, no break with the encore, came right back out. He's 73. Like, it's just unbelievable to me. I mean, really, just truly incredible. I think we got there, or the show was at 7:30. I think he went on like 20 minutes after. I think he did 3 hours, 3+ hours. Let's look. I bet there's a Bruce Springsteen Foxborough, which, by the way, it was my first concert at Foxborough, which is where the Patriots play, which was so fucking cool. Okay. Set list maybe would tell us how long. All right, looking. Okay, start time 7:50. Tour average is 2.5 hours. I think it was longer than that. That was 26 songs, and he did a few covers that were um, sick. Night Shift, Commodores, Because the Night, Patti Smith, which, because the night belongs to lovers. He's been doing it all core. And then he did Jimmy Cliff's Trapped, which I was not expecting, which was really good. And yeah, sick. Just the whole thing. Absolutely unbelievable. With no breaks. Just continued to go. I mean, at one point, he was like, everybody ready to go home? And everybody's like, no. And he's like, okay. What a boss, literally. He's a boss. He's a boss ass bitch. So look, I've been able to see him twice. I'm going to try to see him again this tour as well when he's in LA, if I can afford it. But as I'm telling you, the tickets last minute were pretty good. Okay, other shit that I wanted to talk about, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, super chat in. Thank you, Jake, for being our one and only Streamlabser of the day so far. We talked about Firefest. We talked about Bruce Springsteen concert. We talked about Drew Barrymore, Stalker. Miley Cyrus dropped a new song, and I think it's fucking awesome. Go listen to it. I love Miley. I hope that she goes on tour again. I know she's talked about recently or in the past not touring. It's probably very damaging for people's mental health sometimes. And I hope she doesn't tour until she's ready to tour again, which will be at some point, she said. But whenever she does, oh my God, I'm the biggest Miley stan. I fucking love this woman. Her songs are amazing, but this one was really, really interesting and good because it's about when she was young. And it's so relatable, as I felt like I partied a lot and I was out there and wild and like loving, feeling sad about things, but looking forward to the future and loving yourself for who you were in that moment anyway. Really loved it. Who has listened? By a show of people in the chat, who has listened to the new Miley song? Let me know in the chat. Have you listened and do you like it? Do you love the new Miley song? Do you really love the new Miley song, or is it your favorite song? Those are the only options. Can't say you just liked it, because if you just liked it, you have shitty taste. Sorry, I said it. Good. The only person to respond about it is Sam, who said, I love Miley's new song. Sam, you understood the assignment. Sam, you always understand the assignment, but here you really understand the assignment. Miley's new song. Top notch, level A, grade A. Miley is everything. Jeremy hasn't listened yet. Muhammad hasn't listened yet. And Sam says dropped on the 10th anniversary of Wrecking Ball. So dope. Love that fact. Okay, Bryce loves the song. Yes, he says it's so moving in her voice. God damn, I know. That video of her like crying as she's just singing it straight to camera. Miley is everything. Flowers was number one on the charts, top of the charts for so long. I hope that this song annihilates too. Steve loves Miley's song. Mike's been meaning to check it out. But Stormy says, I have heard Miley's song and like it. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it, Stormy. Okay, Spidey, get on it. Lauren said, I like this song, but didn't much care for her last album. Lauren, everyone's entitled to their opinion. No, I get it. They're different songs. Miley changes all the time, so some albums aren't going to be for everybody. Yeah. So that, but for me, I just think that her evolution has been fucking dope because she like went from being, obviously everybody knows this, but from being Hannah Montana to being this like all out there. Everybody knew her for having those buns in her hair, crazy Miley, dating a fucking Hemsworth. I say a Hemsworth because I still get confused with their names. I believe his name is Liam. Right? That was her fiance. To being queer, to living like her full truth, to getting more. I think she got sober or stopped smoking, whatever it was that wasn't working for her, to finding her sound, to becoming like a rock goddess, to being besties with the Foo Fighters, to me seeing her at the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert and her being respected by some of the biggest artists in the world, to her being Dolly Parton's, what's it called when you're not Jewish and you have godmother, goddaughter? We don't have that. I know that other people, it's the goddaughter. Goddaughter sounds like the Godfather, and that's not what the goddaughter. Is it? Am I just putting the word God in there, and it's just you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like her chosen person or whatever. Anyway, she's got all the things going on. She's motherfucking Miley Cyrus, and she's just such a legend. So even though some of her songs might not work for everybody, I think everybody at this point respects her as an artist, or they should. And Liam, they got married. Word. Yeah, it sounds like that was a mess. And then there was that song, and then that's why Flowers came out, because she can buy her own flowers. She doesn't need Liam to do it. She can hold her own hand, talks to herself for hours, say things that you don't understand. She can take herself dancing. You guys know the whole deal. No, God is included. Goddaughter. Goddaughter. That's what it is. I feel like there's another word for this shit where you have a ceremony, right? To become somebody's. Maybe that's just what it is, goddaughter. Exhibit A, when you overthink it. What I really wanted to spend today talking about, though, other than Firefest, Barrymore, Stalker, Miley Cyrus's new song, which you guys all need to check out if you don't like it. Ooh, that's a you problem. And Bruce Springsteen concert, which was just the greatest concert ever, as always is this hot topic doc that we are seeing. So you guys know I'm not talking about scripted stuff on the show right now, but we are talking about non-scripted. And one of the hottest things, what a weird way of describing that, Rocks, one of the most popular things streaming right now in the States, I would have to imagine globally, although I don't know that it's playing everywhere, is Depp versus Her. So you guys know I did coverage of this when the actual trials were happening. I didn't do coverage like some people did coverage. I didn't do coverage like this doc references, which we will get into. But I thought that this was a wild doc to talk about because I watched all 3 parts in one night, and for reason there was so much to talk about here. Some of the things that I want to say about this, I'm just letting you guys know right now, I will not be talking about. You know, there are certain people that I just do not touch talking about, and there's certain reasons why, and which I sound like I'm being cagey. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's fine. Don't even worry about it. It won't get in the way of me talking about the doc. But just so you guys know, there's things I'll be talking about, and then there will be certain things that I'm not discussing about this doc. But what I will say is that I think they really shine a different light on the Depp Heard situation than what the public had been seeing and what the public general consensus have been. And I really appreciate docs that do that, that really look at the situation, look at it from multiple different angles, and don't try hard to like make a stance. They just try to show facts and a possible alternative perspective that is not the common perception or perspective on it. And that's what this did. By a show of people in the chat who has seen the Depp versus Heard docu-series, 3-parter on Netflix, that came out, I think, a week ago as of today. While you guys are responding about that, please let me know in the chat. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Shout out to Bryce Rat, who says in the chat, as we spoke about earlier, but worth mentioning him anytime that you guys want to bring it up. Thank you. First, rest in peace, Garth. You is a fucking light that will be remembered. Also, I know this Streamlabs isn't huge, but finances have been rough. I'll always support you and the World Girls where I can. I mean, as you guys know, every support matters so much to me. So thank you so much. Also, I hope the fucks at the MPTP get VIP tickets to Firefest too. If Ted Sarandos and Iger and Zasloff and all of them go to Firefest, that will be the most exhilarating, rewarding thing that's ever happened in media ever. I mean, truthfully, if we get to see a doc next year that is like Firefest 2, and it's the Zasloffs of the world eating that cheese sandwich, I don't know a thing that would make me happier than that. Like just the pure joy of watching that. Mwah, chef's kiss. Incredible. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Send in your questions, comments, concerns, bits, bots, thoughts, and twats. Let me go to the chat and see where you guys are at with Depp versus Heard. Mel says no longer have Netflix because of household sharing. Totally. I'm still on my brother's on my phone, but they took it off my TV. So now I only watch on my phone, which is very annoying, but you can cast your phone to your TV. Make it make sense. I truly can't. Andrew hasn't seen it. Robin hasn't seen it. How do y'all still have Netflix? I'm telling you, that's how. Bryce hasn't seen it. Jake is another meeting. Goddamn meetings, Jake. No, it's good. You got to work. Sam says it's a tough topic for her. Yeah, I get it. It's tough for me too, actually. Jeremy says the only Netflix doc that he's watching is Untold. Sports stuff makes sense. Mohammed hasn't seen it. Steve isn't interested. Wow. Okay, this is interesting because this is the most popular doc on Netflix right now. This is what people are talking about, and you guys in here, none of you are watching it. I think one of the reasons for that is because people are so Depp and Hearded out. We watched the entire trials, and while I feel like a lot of people who watched the entire trial, like if you actually watched it, if you actually watched what happened, a lot of people felt the same way I did, which was, this feels gross. I wish I wasn't watching this or that it wasn't airing publicly like this. And it feels like there's gross wrongdoings on both sides. Yikes. That's how I felt after watching the entire trial. The internet seemed to have a different tune, right? I don't think most people watched the entire thing. Most people watched pundits talk about the entire thing. And what a lot of those pundits were saying were, Johnny Depp is amazing. Johnny Depp is everything. Johnny Depp did no wrong. Johnny Depp is the most lovable. We love him even more after this. And Amber is a gross, horrible, evil, psycho abuser. No part of me watched this new doc and feels like Amber's innocent. That is so not the vibe. But I did watch this and think, wow, the public got this so wrong. They got this so wrong. We see things, what they did a great job of is putting a timeline to it and also showing us more of the UK trial, which was not public, was not aired public, did not air publicly the way that the United States one did. But, you know, like, for example, the moment in which Amber's lawyer calls what Johnny was drinking a mega pint of wine. That came straight from the UK trial, Johnny Depp calling what he had a mega pint. That's in the transcript. So then when the lawyer referred to it as mega pint, Johnny kind of laughed and said, mega pint. And that became like a huge TikTok sensation, right? But really, Johnny Depp had coined the term in that trial. There were things like that kept happening over and over again. And also what happened after, which we've talked about a little on the show, is after the trial, a huge Johnny Depp team of supporters pulled together their money to get access to documents that hadn't been released, thinking that it would further prove Johnny's point. And instead, it made Johnny look horrible. And a lot of people who had supported Johnny during the trial, TikTokers, YouTubers, or whatever, saw new information about him and they were like, ew, this is gross. We thought we were going to uncover more stuff about Amber Heard. Instead, we actually uncovered bad stuff about Johnny Depp. Maybe we don't support him. So if you are interested in using your brain and creating your own opinion on the situation that happened, I highly recommend watching this doc. I think they could not have done a better job breaking it down. It was really well done. And I think it gives the clearest point of view on who these people were to each other and what they did. And after watching it, while I do feel similarly to how I felt before, I think that if everybody who was like a diehard stan of either one of these people watch this, I think that their opinion would shift, because it definitely lays more out on the table, clearer timeline, clearer actions. And also, I feel after watching this that there's an absolute 0% chance that the jury was not persuaded by the public, because I just don't think there's any way that the jury was. So, okay, what the other things that are talked about, Johnny Depp was the one who wanted, his team was the one who wanted this public to air publicly, the hearing to air publicly, the trial, which they've never in the States publicly, when somebody talks about being sexually assaulted, as Amber Heard did on the stand, that's never been a public airing. So the way that this was like treated because of it being a celebrity case was different than usual, and that the way that TikTok and GIFs and memes and everything happened, it just feels like there was absolutely no way in the world that the jury was not swayed, even if they tried not to be, even if they tried as hard as they could to avoid it, by public perception, which is so unfortunate because the trial did not need to air publicly. And yeah, for a bajillion reasons, just really unfortunate. Are any of you guys planning on watching it? Or did this conversation kind of make you guys want to or not want to watch it? And have any of you seen it at all? It is not like the most fun watch, obviously. There's more fun things out there. Let's go into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Send in that support. Bits, bots, thoughts, and twats. You can talk to me about the Drew Barrymore situation, the Springsteen concert, Miley Cyrus song, about any thoughts on Garth and sending love to him, and about this Depp Heard doc, and about the Firefest. I was like, I know there's something else crazy we talked about. Fake Lloyd in the chat. What's up, Lloyd? You're the shit. He says, Roxy, Team Stryer. Thank you for the exclamation point, Lloyd. I need a little exclamation point in my life. Roxy, Team Stryer. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Lloyd. We're not going to be here that much longer, so send in any last-minute questions, comments, concerns, support, thoughts. Looking at you guys in the chat right now. Some of you are saying you're going to check it out, but not in the mood right now. Some are just going to check it out. Some are not interested at all. And Bryce with my favorite comment, you make me want to check it out, but I might get stoned first if that's okay. I highly advise it. Highly recommend it. Something crazy that I learned today that I had no idea about. I don't know how I missed it. So Usually Big Brother starts early in the summer. Apparently it started on August 2nd this year, and I totally missed it. And we are 11 episodes in, something like that. I'm going to binge it immediately. And that's something I can talk about because non-scripted. So, did you guys know and you just didn't tell me? Like, why the fuck has nobody been talking about this? I also watched the Bachelorette finale. Spoilers for the Bachelorette finale. I think it ended perfectly. This was the best season of The Bachelorette in a really long time. I think that it was so unbelievable who she ended up with and who the Bachelor's going to be. Low key, I love him and feel like he should be my hubby, but he's about to be the Bachelor, so feels like that's unlikely. And shit. Okay, my loves. Anything else going on before we get out of here? Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Super chat in. Mike Joyce says, I hope Bruce's show last night isn't the best performance at Foxborough this year. How are the Patriots looking this season, by the way? Oh, is that what you mean? My brother and my dad are feeling very confident, which is good, and I take my cues from them. So I wish that they were going to be playing while I was home. Oh, aren't they? I think tonight. I think actually right now there's a preseason game. Friday night, I think I saw. Could be, could not be. And I missed some of Big Brother. I had no one to watch it with me, lol. Well, Brandy, we gotta start. We gotta play catch up. Let's get on it like a bonnet. Much love, my friends. Thank you for chatting with me about all this stuff. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell your friends, all that stuff. Stay safe, stay sane, put down the toilet seat and live. We don't want those buffoons. Don't turn with the Holocaust. Justice for all people who lost their lives due to excessive force. My body, my choice. River from the rainbow. We love you. We stand with the women of Iran, some of the bravest women we've ever seen. Golden sparkles for the Zen one himself. Glenn Caesar, we're thinking about you. We hope you're doing all right. And we stand with the unions, and we are sending so much love to Garth's family. Cannot believe he's gone. Such a huge hit to this community. Much love to Garth's friends, family, and to every person he touched, including myself. He is going to be so, so sorely missed. Oh. Okay. I will see you guys maybe on Sunday. How's that sound? Hopefully good. And over on Patreon. If you're not already there, patreon.com/Roxy Stryer. I'm in the Discord like 15 times a day. I'm obsessed with it there. You guys have been awesome. And it's been a lot of fun being able to connect more with the rock stars. Okay, later.